toyed with the issue of shoes. Men have had an issue with shoes. Even Moses of old had issues with shoes. No wonder God told him, remove your shoes. Whatever was obtaining then, I don't know. But truth be told, Moses was told, remove your shoes. And so we were there in the city with my good friend George. And what we were putting on our feet was not shoes. Those were not shoes. What we had was leather on potholes. And so, my good viewers, when you talk about potholes on shoes, this is what I really mean. And so every day, the man of God would always psych me and George and the rest of the congregation, jump up for the Lord, jump up for the Lord, jump up for the Lord. We never attempted to jump. With this kind of shoe, you would have killed men's faith. So we were there, but never happy, like the rest of the guys. And every time I thought about, a shoe, or the state of our shoes, I always recalled that song that we were taught in primary school by a guy by the name Johnny Walsh, or thereabout. That I got a shoe, you got a shoe, every God's children got a shoe. When we get to heaven, gonna put on my shoe and gonna walk all over God's heaven. I was shocked. They wouldn't have allowed us in heaven with this kind of shoes. Truth be told, Archangel Michael and the heaven host would have scattered us away. And so we were there. And then at some point, I got a job to MC in a wedding. I don't know what was following me up with shoes, because that day again, the sole of my shoe gave up the ghost. The leather and the shoe parted ways. It became hard to really MCing that wedding. And so I called the guy, and so this guy gives me a shoe. But the problem with the shoe was that it didn't fit my feet. His pair of shoes was small. So for me, it became very difficult to really administer that, wedding. And so what I did, I engaged my tongue. When stood somewhere, and so I engaged my tongue. When shoes are not working, make sure your tongue is engaged. And so I was like, yeah, today, this is the best wedding that we have. This couple is the best couple that we have had. In season and out of season, this is the best couple. In this life, in the life to come, and even before then. I'm happy because that day, word of mouth, at least I got a way out. But the challenge with shoes did not end there. But at some point, my good friend George got a shoe. It was a second-hand shoe, a pair of shoes, and while we were there, we were happy that at least God had, remembered us, with a new pair of shoes, or a second-hand pair of shoes. But the problem with this shoe is that 2 days later, we were scratching our feet. We were scratching our feet like Job of old. And little did I know that this shoe, the owner of the shoe, had some dangerous bacteria, genetically modified bacteria. And because we were using the same pumice stone, so the bacteria was all over. And so nighttime, no sleep. Problem, shoe. So one day George, he's a businessman, he decides to go to Tanzania to go and buy stuff for his business. And while he was in that bus, he removed his shoe because the bacteria were feasting on his feet. And so with time, the shoe began to move towards the driver. And come morning, this guy stands there. The conductor is like, yeah. He speaks in Kiswahili. Ai wangwana, siku ya leo bana na kiatu. Sijui kiatu chenyewe ni cha nani, lakini hichi kiatu mwenye kiatu aje akichukue. And so George, like a medicine man, you just move on and everybody was like, yeah, this man is truly a witch doctor. But when it comes to second-hand shoes, second-hand clothes, the solution to all that is fumigation. You colonize, you do all manner, you sanitize. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you scratch your feet till eternity. Shoes.
Hey, Tibu, kare gani, kare what?